Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. ITR Boxing is here with a special feature today. We've got Muhsin Cason. How you doing, bro?
I'm fantastic, champ. How are you?
Hey, another day, man. Beautiful day. It's crazy. Two different coasts. The sun's shining out here in Arizona, still midday, and it's nighttime out there where you're at.
It's been raining all day, but it's a blessing from God.
That's true. Washes away the dirty, right?
Absolutely.
How does that affect your road work at all today at all?
Nah, it doesn't usually affect anything. We no matter rain, sleet, or snow, we getting it in.
That's what's up. We like that. Now, you have the fight on April 27th. Tell me a little bit about that, your opponent, and what you know about him and what the fans can expect on that night so far from what you've had in your training camp.
Absolutely. Um, April 27th, we're fighting on Teflon Promotions. I'll be fighting Deshaun Webster. He's 12-7. Really, sturdy veteran who's been in the game. He's fought. His losses are to some really good fighters, people who are on the world championship level. This is going to be a really good step up for me, a tough step up for me, but um, I plan to do what I usually do and wild a crowd, be smart, take them out.
You definitely. I was watching some clips on YouTube before we came on. You got the flashy ring gear and look and persona. Your social media is entertaining as well too. So the fans, they obviously have something to look forward to in the ring. With that being said, do you ever feel any extra added pressure to not just perform but do something extra for the people in attendance and watching at home?
Um, I actually just try my best to not put the pressure on me to be this fantastic fighter. I try my best to just say, you know what, I'm gonna work hard, and the harder I work in the gym, the better I'll perform in the ring. Simple as that. So, I've learned from my brothers, Hassan Rahman and Ibn Cason, the two, brothers who helped me become a boxer. They they really taught me how to just not be under so much pressure. They taught me how to relax, stay calm all the time, and don't think about it too much. Just be calm.
Now, talking about pressure, your handles, the Muslim boxer, Ramadan, with everything going on, that with the training camp, that alone is a lot of pressure. We've spoke to fighters before who, they had their training camps during Ramadan season, and that's tough. How do you balance that out with your nutrition throughout the training camp?
Man, Ramadan was probably the toughest but the most peaceful part of this camp. Um, I really had to like dig deep in order to find like the strength to keep, train every day while I'm fasting, spar while I'm fasting. But I really got through it, alhamdulillah. It's really a blessing because you never know what you actually have until you don't have anything while you're sparring. And of course that's what Ramadan is all about. Ramadan is about giving up, your desires so that way you can feel how people who are less fortunate feel.
Yeah, definitely. With that being said, does it make you feel like you're even grittier and hungrier in that training camp? Your desire is even stronger than ever.
Absolutely. It makes me feel as though like I really want this. And that's how I know I want it because I'm a grown man. I can easily just say, nah, I'm a cheat.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody watching me, you know.
yeah.
They can easily but I just choose to make sure that, I do the best that I can. And I'm an honest person and I make sure that, I put my best foot forward.
Now, not to throw shade on anybody, but there was talk on Twitter. I've seen Devin Haney was one who was kind of cheating in a sense, breaking the fasting there and eating. As a fellow fighter, when you hear about stuff like that, what are your thoughts seeing that from other fighters?
So one thing about Muslims is we shouldn't judge because everybody's relationship with God is a personal relationship with God.
Mm.
Devin is a new Muslim. And so you can't expect a person like me who has been Muslim for 30 years and I'm used to being. I've been an athlete all my life, and you're talking about somebody who is what 26. I don't know how old,
Yeah.
but 26, and he's just fasting for maybe what the first 2 years of his life, and expecting to do what I do is different. Um, a lot of people were texting me and like, "Oh, did you see? It's a shame and everything," but nah, it's everybody has a different relationship. You can't judge somebody for what their stuff is because Devin is probably used to, and plus he's at a higher level of competition than me as well. I don't know what I probably wouldn't even take a fight in Ramadan if you know what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. Even, I would probably schedule my fight out, further than that because I would say, oh no, if I got to fight this dude for a world championship, I can't do Ramadan because I'm not gonna be able to do it. I'm gonna be hurt. So, no, props to Devin Haney. He trying his best, and at least he was honest. I kind of put it on the video. I said, don't worry about anybody else's opinion. So, props to him. I got nothing but mad respect for him. I hopefully maybe he'll do 15 days next time, because he feels stronger. But shunning people for what they can't do don't make them any better.
Great answer. Yeah, definitely appreciate that. And like you said, everybody's relationship with God is a personal one too.
Absolutely.
Now, with your training camp, have you been doing any special sparring? I know you've had some big sparring partners in the past. Has this one been any different?
No, everybody's still the same. I'll spar Jesse Hart. I'll spar everybody who's in Philly. Um, it's just whatever I can get. And they know I'm fasting, but even Jesse's a good Muslim brother. He's fasting too. So it's nice camaraderie when people understand what you're going through.
Oh yeah, and it's a big card too. It's a historic card for Philly boxing, especially. Uh,
Absolutely.
that one, does it make you want to stand out more than everybody else on that card?
All the time. It always makes me want to stand out. I always want to make sure that I make a great impression on my fans and a great impression on the boxing world. So I'm always looking to try my best. I don't care if it's just two people there. I want them to talk about the fight that just two people was there. I want them to say that, man, that dude fought his butt off.
Absolutely, that's how it should be for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, talk to me a little bit here about your background. I know you come from a fighting family. Tell me about your childhood, your upbringing, and the family dynamic that you come from in the sport.
Oh man. So I grew up, I'm one of 16 children. My oldest brother is the former heavyweight champion Hassim Rahman. He became the world champion when I was like 7 or 8. I didn't really understand or get like how dynamic it was to become a world champion. I was just like, oh, he won the fight on TV. Like I was so used to it, I was just like, all right, whatever. And but as I got older, I played sports. I played basketball. I played football. I ran track. Um, and I did not think about boxing. I didn't really care for boxing. It was just like, all right, yeah, my brother does it. It is what it is. It wasn't until I was 21. I actually still didn't want to box. I just wanted to use it as an excuse to move to Vegas. And my plan was to go and like box for a little bit. I called my brother Ibn Cason, who said he would train me. And I called him and I was like, yeah, let's box. He said, you can come live in my house. And my plan was to do boxing until I got a certain, got on my feet and then quit. But I fell in love with boxing, and 9 years later, here I am.
Now, has he had any influence on your career coming up, or is he one of kind of like letting you do your own thing in a sense?
No, he's had a big influence on my career. I was training with him. I was managed by him. I call him every once in a while. His phone is always available. He always answers. Always has advice for me. Is always telling me, kind of that proud little brother moment. Where you get to tell your older brother what you did, especially in the sport that he's flourished at. Um, Nah, it's always been like that. So, and he's always welcoming and he's always talking to me and giving me courage and congratulating me on every fight.
Yeah, that's what's up. Do you and his well, your nephew, I guess he is, his son, do you train together as well? Because I know he's an active fighter.
Oh, we used to, especially when we were in Vegas together. Oh, I'm in Philly right now. I'm in Philadelphia. I've been in Philadelphia for like 4 years, but we used to train all the time. Like we would spar, all the time. So, and we work out together, lift weights, run, do everything together. So.
Now, I had a conversation with him briefly at one time too, and the question I asked him is like, "What was it like seeing your dad, become the heavyweight champion?" And as you mentioned, when you watched him, it didn't feel like a big deal. Being in school and being around that, what was that? Did you get any extra attention from that, or unwanted attention from that?
Yeah, I had a chip on my shoulder. I was like, "Yo, you know who my brother is?" My brother Hassan Rockman. Like, I used to play basketball in the streets. They'd be like, "Yo, that's Hassan Rockman's little brother." It was always, "Yo, that's Hassan Rockman's little brother." So yeah, it got a lot of attention from it, especially in school, because my brother would come to the school as like it was a Muslim school, so he would come to school and everybody would go crazy because he was the first Muslim heavyweight champion, especially in Baltimore.
Yeah, he did a lot. He put on. I mean, I remember watching that fight live, especially myself too, and that was historic. That was a lengthy reign he ended of Lennox Lewis too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I remember watching in the house. I remember my dad jumping in the ring, my brothers jumping in the ring. We were all screaming, but I didn't really get like what was going on. I just was happy that he won.
Yeah, that's fast forwarding now to your legacy and your journey. Um, the cruiserweight division for the past few years has kind of felt, in a sense, open wide. There's a lot of tough fighters, especially at the top. Not a lot of Americans. Is this something that you're really trying to sink your teeth in as that next great American? And is there anybody that you're kind of eyeing already that's at the top, or that you feel you're going to see at the top?
Absolutely. My goal is to be that next, Holyfield. Um, the top is always switching. So when it was Okoli, I was looking at Okoli. When it's Ramirez right now, I'm looking at Ramirez. I'm looking at anybody who's there when I get there. I'm not paying attention to saying, "Oh, when I get there, I want this person with this person." I don't have any personal grudge. Just whoever is there at the time, that's who got to get it. No personal feelings.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the rankings, I feel like knowing a little bit about you and watching some of your fights as well. It's kind of astonishing that you're not. I mean, obviously you're not going to be top 10, but that you're not anywhere in that range yet, away from there. I mean, there should be some eyes on you. I feel like so. It feels like you're kind of already in a underrated sense. You know what I mean?
And I love it. I love it because when I come out on top, it'll be it'll be well worth it. But with boxing, you got to kind of wait your turn, and I truly understand that. Look at Boots; he's been wanting the fights. He's been wanting the fights. He wanting the fights, and it's such a blessing. He got these guys don't want to fight him, and
Yeah.
that might be my case. Who knows? But inshallah, I'm just I love the opportunities. I love the journey, and so when it's time for me to be at the top, people will know my name. So I'm just grabbing all the fans I can before I get to the top. That way, it'll be a fight worth waiting for.
Absolutely. And with 11-0, 8 knockouts, obviously we know you're bringing power to the ring. But I've heard other interviews in the past where you said that's you're trying to learn and be a savvy fighter. Who are you working with, and what are you working on specifically to try to break out of that I'm a power puncher kind of shell?
I've been working with Coach Rasheem Jefferson and of course Coach Rafiq. Just learning how to do that boxing. Philly shell, learning how to be smarter, learning how to not try to use my power all the time. This fight is definitely going to show that, yeah, I got a lot of power and I can knock people out, but I can also just box if I want to. I got a lot of energy and a lot of stamina and a lot of skills and that's what I'm going to show. I know it's crazy because I say this every single time, and then I end up knocking my opponent out in like 50 seconds. But I, my intentions is to show boxing. That's what my intentions is.
It's kind of similar to Boots. I feel like he tries to do the same thing, and he's so heavy-handed. The same thing just happens. The dudes just drop.
Man, you just try to have fun in there, and you train so hard in training camp, and it's a blessing because you really want to get out of there as well. Like, but you also want to show your skills. But hey, if the dude is not worth being there, that's what happens. But God willing, there's nothing. I don't get strength without Allah, without my Lord. So I couldn't thank him enough. I get to go home, talk to my daughter just like this, be on point like a decimal. I'd rather do that than have a long night. But
True.
I do get ready for the long night.
Hey, they all say you don't get paid overtime in boxing.
We don't get paid for overtime. No, no sir.
With that being said, what's been your favorite knockout so far in your career?
I think my 10th fight. No, my 11th fight. That fight in Saudi Arabia on the Jake Paul undercard.
That's huge.
I knew it was coming. I said I was going to do it, and I appreciated it because my coach was like, we're just going to jab him the first round. But I saw it, and right when I saw it, my body just reacted, and it did it. And that was it. I really appreciate the fact that I was in control the whole time.
So you're used to being on the biggest platform and stage of it all already, so there shouldn't be any nerves, with when it comes to performing on a big stage like that, right?
No, absolutely. We've learned, man. Thank God to my brother Hassim. I walked out with Michael Hunter when he fought in Saudi Arabia on the Anthony Joshua card. I was right behind him when he walked out with the Predator mask. Yeah, I was right behind him. When he was walking out, I was right behind him. So it was like I was already there before. The tunnel, the waiting, the crowd, I was already there, and it was amazing. So it was a blessing to be there and feel that pressure because I knew what it felt like already. I was in the moment. So when it was my turn, I just kept telling myself, well, you got to breathe. You've been here before.
Now, again, we talked about the magnitude of this show. Obviously, being on a big card like that will definitely help you prepare for that. What do you feel this fight, like, what does this one mean to you? Not just the fight itself, but the card, because it is such a historic event for Philadelphia boxing. And what do you plan on leaving behind for this one, like as far as legacy goes?
This is my adopted town. I didn't even know I would love Philly so much. But this is my adopted town. Like I can go anywhere and I'm loved and I'm appreciated. I know so many people here, and because of that, it's really like fighting at home. So it's like coming, it's like homecoming. It's I can't wait to fight in front of the people. Can't wait to fight on this historic card, especially with so many fighters. And I know most of the fighters. Locker room is going to be hilarious. We're gonna joke around. We're gonna have fun. I can't wait to see everybody come from the locker room and see everybody get the knockouts.
Now, for people who aren't going to be able to make it out to Philadelphia, is this going to be able to be streamed anywhere?
Absolutely, it'll be on BLK Prime.
Oh, perfect. Is that are you with any promotional company right now or a specific management team?
No, sir. Of course, my management team, Home Team Promotions, but I've been able to get on these beautiful platforms with no promotion. I'm waiting for promotion, but I've been able to get on these beautiful platforms with no promotion at all.
Do you like being able to have that kind of a free agent power?
Somewhat. It's a blessing to be able to say that I fought on DAZN, I fought on ESPN, I fought on all these other cards, and Yeah, I thought it wasn't, but it is a blessing. But I definitely would like to get with a promotion because eventually I would like to, fight some of these fighters who are signed with those big promotions, especially for a belt or a interim belt for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I mean, you're building up a big case and a big name for yourself. I mean, you have close to 500,000 followers on Instagram already. Big following. Again, entertaining platform. So I feel like eventually one of these big promoters, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, you're kind of flying under the radar right now as far as the boxing scene goes, but it's gonna blow up pretty soon. I feel like personally.
Absolutely, I think it's definitely gonna blow up. But like I said, I just got to keep working until my time comes. They say? Success is when preparation meets opportunity. So I'm just
Absolutely.
preparing for my opportunity to show what I got. And when I get there, I'll be well prepared because I'm working hard.
Now, training camp is winding down. How many more days do you have left?
We got 2.5 weeks. 2.5 weeks, and then it's on and popping. So,
Beautiful. Any other comments you have for the fans or people supporting and watching you right now?
man, just keep me in your prayers. Please make sure that I'm safe for me to come home and talk to my family. Follow me on all the platforms at the Muslim Boxer, and I appreciate you guys inside the ropes for having me.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time again. I don't want to take up too much of your time. It was definitely fun chatting with you, and I'm sure we'll be in touch again, especially after your fight.
Absolutely, I can't wait.
All right. Thanks again, and you have a good one, man.
All right, champ. See ya.